you want to get perfect matching seams every single time, let me show you how you can nest your seams together to make sure that your points, everything matches up on the first try. So here I have my two pieces that I want sewn together. I'm putting them right sides together, and we want those squares to match up so all their points come together. So the important part of nesting seams is making sure that your seam allowances go in opposite directions. I'm putting these together, lining up the raw edges, and those are one's going to the left side or up, and one's going to the right side or down. You can see that seam right there. Those lines are going to match up. If you want to, you can pin those in place. Once you get more advanced, you don't necessarily have to, but I suggest it if you're moving from one spot to your sewing machine so they don't move in the process. But essentially, nesting those seams, you're butting them up together and they fit together kind of like a puzzle piece. That's the great thing about this. So now that I've done the top one, I like to do the bottom one at the same time as well. And especially if you're pinning it, this is a great time to do it. Make sure one seam is going up and the other one is going down. Lines are going to match up. Those seams are matching up and they just butt together. There's a little extra fabric on one side. That's okay. It's going to stretch to fit. It's not too much, so I'm not really worried about it. So now we can take it over to our sewing machine and sew this in place, making sure everything matches up perfectly. And I'm going to be sewing mine at 1/4 inch. And then after sewing it, I just open it up and you can see how those seams lined up perfectly. All of those corners, all 4 of those corners, all meet at the same spot. The seam on the back needs to be ironed. Depending on your pattern, sometimes it tells you which way to iron it, but usually you just iron it to one side. Sometimes you iron it open. I prefer going one side or the other. So let's take it over to the iron so it looks a little cleaner and nicer, not so crinkly. Once you have that ironed, it'll look even nicer. And yeah, this is just a great method to use when you need to match up those seams perfectly. See how that just looks so nice. Let's clean the focus up on the camera real quick. There we go. And yeah, all 4 corners, top and bottom, just look really good. And that's how you're going to nest your seams together.